My name is Marilyn Hicks. I worked here from 2014. I worked in an office doing medical billing coding. I did more files and paperwork and things like that in this office, and it was in Fairfax. And I still was doing just that. Elderly people come in and needed help, and actually I tended to graduate to go towards helping them more than anything. So actually, I enjoy doing that. So that's what I did. That's one reason why. When I first walked into the office, the one thing I like about working or wanting to work for this company, I was looking for a family. My mother said, the first thing you do, look for a family that wants you to be a part of it. So I started looking, and then I found Paragon. When I went into the office, it was the old office. Everybody was just so warm, and they were just so happy, and I was comfortable there. And then when I talked to the owner, man, it was the best thing ever, saying how it would be, how he would like his company to grow and how it would be. And from then, he had me, his family. And I said, this is the place I want to be part of. That's where I was. What I like being about being a caregiver is, before I go into any house, because I've been into a lot of places, and I love the ones that are difficult. I like those. I always say a prayer. I know it's, for some other people, that's probably not. They're not saying they're not Christian, but I always do. Before I go in, please let this person be okay, and let me be okay. Make this a good day. And so once I get in there, I enjoy being, the one thing I do like to do when they will always call me and say, how was Mr. So-and-so? Oh, they were great. And then I can't wait to hear the feedback, what they say about me. Because I wanted to be all natural, because that's what I tend to work on, being myself when I come in there. Another reason is, sometimes you try to find out things about them, to learn things about them. On that way, when you have conversation, you can come and say a little bit about them more, because it is about them, and it has nothing to do with me. And so I make myself comfortable about learning about them first, and I can go from there. And I'm happy, and they're happy. And so that way they'll say, can that girl come back? I like when they ask for me back. As a little girl, I have a large family, and my mom was a nurse. My mother had so many people, especially being from Montgomery, Alabama, that loved my mother. This one lady, she was a doctor, and she had polio, and my mom would make, even her off days, she would go and check on her. And I would ask her, can I go with you? And she'd say, why? I want to come. So she would always let me go with her. And I admired how she used to do those things and how she helped people. And she was always so sweet. And they always were asking. So it was my mother that inspired me to do, even though I went to do something else in the Air Force, but I was always a caregiving type. Oh my gosh. When I got out, what makes Paragon different from other agencies is, when I got out, I saw a lot of agencies that I applied, and a lot of them did like me. But then I wanted to, my mom was alive then, she said, always make sure you find your home. And there's somewhere you want to stay. You want to be there. And that would also make you'll be on time for work, you'll be at work, and it's like, well, I'm going home. That's how I see it. Paragon is home for me. And I kept thinking, right now at my age, I keep thinking about retiring. And I said, well, I guess it is home for me. So I'm going to take my time until the day. it was the best thing because you know what, when you start talking about being patient with people and you're learning things, and they were always having things for me to learn to do. They always did. Well, you can do this. Marilyn can do it. And I go, okay, I can do it. And so, hey, there were so many things to learn and learn about people and things like that. So I enjoyed that. That was good for me. And there's so many people that I remember. I had a case where this lady was looking for a facility to live. So it was in Pennsylvania. So I had to drive her with the Paragon car. We had 3 places that we visited. And we had a hotel, we drove there. The drive wasn't that far. We really had a good time. The lady, I enjoyed her. We had a nice trip. We stopped for lunch. We talked about so many things. We had a hotel. It really was a nice trip, and we stopped in certain places. So she asked me, she says, well, Marilyn, we have been to 3 places. She said, what do you think? I said, well, it is your decision to make. And she said, well, I just want to know what you think. And I said, well, my decision, it has nothing to do with yours because you have a lot of things to think about when you come back. I know family is in this area, and I know you want to be closer, so it really is up to you. She said, Marilyn, tell me what you think. I said, okay, that second one? She said, the second one? What do you think? Honestly, when I walked in, it was the smell. And she said, me too. I thought of that too. And so everything that we thought about, how I would feel if I would step into a place that I would want to live and I would be comfortable, me and her thought the same things. So, and I said, now you think on that. So she said, you're absolutely right. So it was actually a nice trip. You know, when you come into here in the office, you have so many different people that come in from all nationalities. And that's another thing I like about them. They don't care where you're from or where this, because you know why? You're gonna run into somebody just like them that you're gonna have to, and they make sure when they're deciding on which client you go to, I was always managed to fit perfectly in the perfect client. They make sure you fit with them. And that's what I like about being able to, whenever you go in, they say, well, I have a client for you. And I said, you do? No, yeah. You would be perfect with them. But I already know that they already looked to see if I match with that person, if I was up that type of nights and I'm this and that. And that's the one thing I like. So whenever they have a client for me, I said, who is it? Okay. Now that I'm older, I enjoy that they seem to take me and they'll say, Marilyn, do you remember, do you have Miss So-and-so? I go, oh, yeah. He says, would you like to go there? Oh, yeah, sure. And it's like a reunion. It's not work for me. That's why sometimes I forget to even clock in. That is terrible. You know, I was getting coffee yesterday, Starbucks, and the young lady always see me go there. She said, Marilyn, it's you. I go, she said, can I get that phone number on that card? Oh, sure, get it. So she says, so what do you think I should do? I said, I think of all the services out there, I know you don't apply at a lot of them, a lot of places to go. That is one that it would be a family for you. Because you know why? I said, where do you live? She said, I'm in Falls Church. And I said, when you're applying, make sure you have your address, let them know where you want to be. Depends if you're a mother and your times and things like that. They will work that for you. And this is what I like. They'll say, well, there's a client that has da-da-da-da-da, and they try to work around your schedule so you would be perfect. You wouldn't have a problem with going there and the times where you have to need to be as for work. And I said, and it's a good company. There's a lot of things to grow with. There's a lot of growing things that are happening. You will learn a lot of things with that company. So that's why I'm still here. I'm still with the company. And then she asked me, you don't mind, can I ask how old you are? I go, why? She wants to know how old I am. I said, I am 63 going on 64 and very happy. You've been with that for a long time. I've been there for a long time. if you're ready for, as for applying with Paragon, if you're ready to stay in a good company, have a lot of benefits, they have insurance, they have 401k, they have everything else that some of these companies don't offer. So it's like a family with a big hug. And that's what Paragon is for me, and it will be the same for you. If you're, you know what I used to say a long time ago when I got in the military, I would say, Paragon is kind of like the military. It's like a family. They'll take care of you, just like they do. You come in, there's a hug. You can't do this, but you can do this. We'll help you. We'll watch you grow. And that's how Paragon is for me.